Hello YouTube, Darryl Dawes here, your blind musician friend, and today we are going to talk about creating your own sound on the MOXF8 Yamaha keyboard. Now, this is going to be different because you're not going to use category search and pick presets, you're going to be building your own sound from scratch. And I just want to show you how to get in there. But I'm going to take some time for the person who is viewing this video who is blind like myself to describe the location of the buttons that we're going to be using. And we're going to start on the right side of the screen with the 8 buttons on the top, and then underneath that you'll find another set of 8. And then underneath that you'll find another set of 8, and we'll call the set in the middle the middle set, and then we'll call the top set the top set. We won't need the top set for creating new sounds. We will need the middle set and the bottom set. And right above that set is a button that, the middle set is a button that is called the comment button. Okay. Coming to the left of that set of buttons, there is the keypad like set, and the first button on the to the right of the data wheel is the voice button, and we'll press that when we need. We'll press that now. Now above the set, the top set is 2 buttons, and this is where you can pick your banks. I have other videos describing these buttons as well. Okay, and the button on the right will take you to the next row going forward, and the button on the left will take you to the button take you backwards through the list of banks. Okay, so now underneath the data wheel, if you take your data wheel and take the finger holder, or whatever they call it, the hole where you put your finger, and you put that straight at the 6 o'clock position, roughly in that general area, you can follow that button, follow that data wheel now straight down, and you'll find the up and down cursor buttons. Now, to the left of the data wheel, you'll see the minus, the cursor left, and the enter, the exit button, and also to the left of exit you'll see the shift, and then to the right of the up and down cursors you'll see the plus, the cursor right, and the enter button. To the right of that will be the edit, job, and store. Okay. Also underneath the screen we have SF1 through 6, and then you have F1 through 6. Okay. Now let's get into creating a new sound. Well, the basics anyway, because there's a lot to it. But the basics, we're going to hit job. After we pick our sound, we'll hit job. So what you want to do is you want to find yourself a open spot that you don't, like a sound that you don't mind deleting. I'm going to pick you. So when you, I don't know, you can see these, there's other videos I have on picking your user area, but the way you'll know you're in user 1 is if you pick the first sound. So I hit the top button on the top row, 1, and then I hit 1 on the next row. Now hit the minus under the data wheel here. That first set is going to be like an arpeggio, that you can hold down chords and play for you. So that's how you'll know you're there at user 1. Okay, I have a different sound on mine because this user 1 is these are my gig sounds. Okay, so I'm gonna pick user 2 by hitting the top 2 buttons over here. Press right, go to user 2, and I'm gonna pick sound 6. Yeah, sound 6. I had to think about it for a minute. Sound 6. Okay, now I'll hit job. That's that middle button with the 3 buttons down here by the keys on the right of the screen. Okay, and we'll hit enter twice, and this will give us a piano sound. This is what it defaults to when you first initialize your sound. Okay, then you can hit edit. Then you go to that set, and you're going to go to the middle set and hit 1, and this will be element 1. And now you can use your up cursor using my click method. I'm going to go up. There's 3 areas for each side of the screen, so we're going to make sure we're on the left side of the screen. So we're going to press the left arrow once, and this is the area where you can turn your element on and off using the minus and plus. The minus will turn it off, the plus will turn it on. You can also use the data wheel to do the same thing. Clockwise will turn it on, and counterclockwise will turn it off. Okay. Now, let's talk about what's underneath that. So underneath that is a spot where you can pick your element for a different reason, which we'll get into later on another video. And then beneath that is also a spot to pick the cycle that your element is going to be running. I'm going to put it on the normal. And a little note here, you can't pick an element if you're set to normal. It won't work with that setting above. All right, so come up and go to the right. And now here we are at a spot where if you have a flash ROM installed, you can, I do not have one, you can pick this area to get to your waves that are on your flash ROM. Going down 1, you have the area where you can pick your category. And it's kind of like the same categories that you would find in category search. The difference is once you get towards the synth area, all the synth waves are here in this category. And once you get to this area where it's kind of like a weird pads, this category also has its set of sounds, and then so on and so on, all the way up through to your kick drum for your drum sets. And then you have percussion previous to that kick drum. Okay. You can also jump through these by tens when you're down here on the next area we're going to be talking about, which let's go ahead and go down 1, and now you're on the area where you can pick your waves to your piano, and you can jump by 10 by holding shift and pressing the plus button. Okay, you can do the same thing with the data wheel. Hold shift turn the wheel clockwise, it'll jump by tens. Okay. Now, let's see. I should mention, let me go ahead and go over here to the synth category. Okay, here's the synth category. You have, I'm going to turn this keyboard down a little bit for now. Let's turn down with this. I have my keyboard set up to some computer speakers here. Where's my volume go? Hang on one second. Here it is. Somehow it fell down. Okay. Get the volume here. I'm gonna put it here. Sorry, it's in the camera, but considering what I'm dealing with here, this is how I have to set it up. Okay, so let's see. All right, so what I want to talk about is on the left side of the screen, there's the there's 8 knobs here. And on the top set, this will control your filters. Just like in all the settings, you know, with the lamp, the function lamps on. To the left of the knobs here, for the blind user, there's the function lamps. And you can press them twice to switch to the next row of settings for that set of knobs you're dealing with. So on the top set, the next after filters is your envelope. And the first knob deals with your attack. Second knob deals with your decay, which you won't hear if I change it, unless I change the sustain knob, which is number 3, which I'll do now. I'm gonna turn the decay all the way down to 0. Turn the sustain down to 0. No sound. However, if you turn it up, you can hear it clicking. Okay, now I'll do the decay. Okay, and I'm gonna turn it down again because we're gonna put some. Okay, so there's your decay. All right. So this is useful for your setting up your basic settings. Here's your release at the last knob. Got your release. I'm gonna put it back at 0. Well, let's put it right about there. Okay. Excuse me. Let's see. Now, the next, if you press the lamp button again twice to get to the next area, you can choose the volume of your patch or your element with the first knob. The second knob will deal with pan, and then the third and fourth knob will deal with the way it's connected to the effects. We'll talk about effects more in another video. Okay? Now, if you press the knob or the lamp twice again, it takes you back to your filters. And you can set your resonance with the second knob. Okay, resonance. First knob is like frequency, your frequency, and then your third knob is your frequency again. But I think it's a different setting. This is nice. This is good for setting basic filters. Okay, it's not going to get all up your classic sounds that you'd probably want to get. Your fourth knob is for setting your, as you heard, portamento. Okay, now on the bottom is your EQs, bass, mid, high, mid, and then highs. And then you press the bottom function lamp button twice, and it'll take you over to your effects, where you can pick the amount of chorus with the second knob, and then you can pick the chorus type with the first knob. Okay. The third and fourth knob deal with reverb, so the fourth knob is the amount. And the third knob is the type. So you can set the basic settings for that as well. Put the reverb here. All right. Now, I'm going to go through some of these waves here. So there's a nice wave. And you can find your sawtooth and your sines in here as well. You have to go through each, I mean, there's a lot. If you can spend that time, you can go through each sound. Let's change some of that. There we go. Okay, make sure there's no. So here's your sawtooth. Yeah, this is sawtooth. Then there's a lot of different other types of waves here. And what I found is that some of these are in stereo, and some of them are in mono. So, and even when they're in stereo, they're like placed in the stereo field, sometimes weird. It's like almost surround sound sounding like. So the ones that sound like they're repeats, these are set differently in the stereo field, or the wave itself is modified in some way. Oh, that's a rough one. So here are a bunch of waves that deal with sawtooth, but in a different way. If you're listening to this through headset, you will actually hear the attack vary between each sound. On speakers, you can only hear this. It sounds the same. I'll just let you listen. So all the way up into here, they sound the same. And these are all different sawtooths. But like I said, with the earphones on, you can hear a slight variation on the way it attacks. So that can be useful. I've actually played with those and it's pretty interesting. Okay, now you get into these here. So there's your sine at think that's a sign, right? And I know there's a square wave. I just don't. I've never heard of square waves raw form, so I don't really know what that sounds like. But I know it's in here because I looked at the data list, and I saw that in the data list. You can get the data list from the Yamaha website, and just use Google to find it. Find the data list, and you also find other PDFs that are useful for using editor. I don't use editor. I find it to be difficult for me as a blind user, so I just create my sounds directly off of the keyboard, and that's what these videos, this video and the following videos, at least 2 or 3 videos, will be all about. Okay, so here's some more waves, all kinds of different waves here. And the way I set the envelope, I can already, just play these, and they're like already sounds. Now I'm gonna go over here to our envelope and our function lamp and adjust the volume to these because they're pretty bright, some of them, because I haven't done any filtering or anything like that. So I guess I could do that, right? Just go over here to filters. Let's see, we use this one. Now we could probably turn this back up a little bit. Okay, so yeah, you could play these. Just to see what they sound like. But I'm going to take the filter off so you can hear the, let's see, I'm sure I did, hold on. Take the filter all the way off, no resonance, so you can hear the raw wave. Okay. So these are sounds without the filters. Even, you go, so it starts to get into bass type waves. I mean, it just keeps, it's not in any type of real order, I don't think. And there's all kinds of different waves here. And this is all in the synth area. I'll let you look at, let's take a look at some of the areas like, because I don't want to do too much of a spoil alert. Let's try, let's do some strings. Okay, so here's our first set of strings. And of course, we want our sustain back, but for this video, we'll go ahead and just go with this setting here. Here's our second set. So, you're probably wondering, well, this violin sounds very bland. I mean, there's no vibrato, there's nothing. It sounds... So, as you go through this set of waves, you keep going up through. There's the violin you're used to hearing. Okay. And but so you're like, well, why would they have these? By the way, the wheel, the mod wheel, you would think, oh, maybe I could use the mod wheel. When you use the mod wheel on this area of the keyboard, it doesn't work unless you go to the spot where you set all of your controllers. Okay, the only controller that actually works here, of course, are the knobs and the pitch bend. It's already set to go 2 above and 2 down. Okay, but you can also set that in the area for your controller sets, or actually in the common area. Okay, so here are the strings, and I find that when you hear copies, what you want to listen to is the actual beginning of the sound. Now listen to this one. How about? And the vibrato was faster, huh? There's another one with a fast vibrato. So there's a lot of strings. And these are all the solo type strings. Okay. So these are all the different types of strings. The pianos are also nice. Of course, you'd want to change your release, right? So, nice piano sounds for building. This is the actual first wave of the piano category. And there's a lot of them. And I think and this one is in stereo. The first one is in stereo. Excuse me. Now the second one is mono. And there's no velocity or anything set on these. So no matter how soft you hit the key, how hard, it just plays one velocity. So that's your piano area. Lots of different pianos, and as you get towards the end, what they start doing is they put these sound effects, like for letting the key go and stuff like that. And that's where you have this area over here for you would set your element, how you want your sound to be when you let go of the key. Then you would pick the cycle that you want to use, and then when you press down on the key, you'll hear nothing. Let go, and there will be your sound. You have to set that though. You have to set the element so it doesn't ring like that. So it's just a tit, or you could pick that sound. I'll give you an example. Let me go find the sound. Let's go back to the regular element. Go over to the sound to see. what I'm gonna do to cheat here is I'm gonna go to the category, I'm gonna pick the keyboard, and then I'm gonna go down and go backwards to it. Okay, so here's the sound. It's fairly quiet. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this up a little bit, see if you can hear that. So this sound right here as an example. If you wanted to be what happens when you let go of the key, you would take and go over here to where it says normal. Change it to from legato. There's legato, then there's that spot you want. I don't recall what it's called. But as I let go of the key, it makes that sound. Now I can pick a second element. So go back over here to the middle set of 8, and you pick 2. Go up to the top, to the left, press plus, you have a piano. Now, turning this back down, you can hear that sound a little here. I wish I had a mixer so that way you guys can really hear it. But I'm still new to this whole YouTube video recording stuff, so. All right, nice. So there I can hear the sound click, click as I let go of the key. Of course, you don't want this piano sound to drag out longer, so what do you think we would do? If we were just using basics, we would increase the sustain. No? No, I'm wrong too. You would increase the decay. But it's not doing that because I have myself confused where I'm at. So give me a moment. Okay, I see where I'm at. I'm at filter. All right, so we increase the decay. There we go. Is that too much? Yeah, it's too much. That's good right there, huh? And there's no velocity. I don't have velocity set here, but this is all you can really do with this envelope using the knobs. You actually have to go to the screen for the envelope to make really good adjustments. So that's what the, now let's say you don't want this sound here. Every time I let go of the key, you don't want to hear that right now while you work on the piano, so you could push on the bottom set of 8, you can press 1, it will mute the sound. If you press 2, it'll mute the sound for element 2. Press 1, pressing 1 will mute the sound for element 1, and then repressing it will unmute it, okay? All right, so that's all I'm gonna cover in this video. I hope you enjoyed yourself and have fun going through all those waves. In my next video, we will talk about some other things that might be useful in creating new sounds. If you liked what you heard, if you like my videos, hit that like button and also subscribe to my channel. And that way, also hit the notification bell. And this way you will be alerted to my up and coming videos you know, as I upload a video, you will see the video. And I still plan to do some videos on ear training, helping people who are playing by ear play their piano, and also some techniques for playing synthesizer. I really thought that it would be great to put some videos out on how to use this keyboard, because when I first bought it, I mean, there was videos up there, but they didn't help blind users very much, and it seemed like every time they talked about the screen, you know, they didn't really tell you, you know, where in the screen to take your cursor, you know, and so as a blind user, we need that stuff. Top left, bottom right, here in the middle, you know, if you say here in the middle, at least give us like, how many things can we pick in that area? So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for my up and coming videos. Take care.
Stop recording video button.